15 years ago, the Wolverines were in the midst of a season that would end in a national championship. On November the 8th, they traveled to State College to take on Penn State in a battle of unbeatens. It was a game that featured a remarkable 46 future NFL players, names like Greasy and Woodson, Enos and Juravicious. But those names would be eclipsed by two less memorable ones, whose football playing fates changed in an instant. Howard takes us back.
Well, it was much more than the Big Ten championship at stake. You had two teams that were on the path that thought they could win the whole thing and be national champions.
That's what we came for, baby. Right here.
You had Michigan, Penn State, both teams with an opportunity to do something big in the 1997 season.
This is Curtis Enos with his first big run of the day.
I just remember missing a tackle on Curtis Enos, and I went too low and kind of dived at his legs, and I ended up missing that tackle.
I remember we were all kind of, joning on him a little bit, like, man, I thought you was gonna hit him face up. And seems like right after that, they threw that pass out there in the flat.
The final play of the first quarter that November afternoon forever changed the life of then Michigan junior defensive back, Daydrion Taylor.
I knew then if I got another opportunity, without a doubt in my mind, I had to make that tackle. And so the next opportunity I got was the Bob Stephenson play.
What I remember is, bobbling the ball and then trying to sneak past Joe Juravicious, who was blocking a D-back, and not seeing Daydrion Taylor, the safety, coming up.
It's got to be the hardest hit I've ever, witnessed, being in the game.
32 years of watching college football in a press box. I have never seen a hit like that.
Probably as hard a hit as I've been around. Initially, I can remember people in the headset saying, I think it's Woodson.
I ended up getting, stalk blocked by Juravicious, so I was of no help, and all of a sudden, smack.
I think I was unconscious for about 2 minutes, waking up, knowing that something was wrong because of everyone over top of me.
I remember going numb. At the time, it felt like 2 minutes. When I look back at it, it was more like 4 seconds. And so, and I remember looking up at the official, and Charles Woodson was standing over me, and I was telling him, hey, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs.
Daydrion Taylor and Bob Stephenson both are up and walking off, but they knocked each other out.
The ironic part is when I woke up, I didn't know what was wrong, but I felt fine. Didn't have a headache, didn't have anything. In fact, the video shows I was smiling and laughing with teammates and everything else. However, about 15 or 20 minutes later, it felt as if my head was ready to explode. I've never had that much pressure.
When things came into focus for Stephenson, the senior tight end received disturbing news.
The result of that play was a grade 3 concussion, which medically placed me from not being able to participate in any more games. That was the last time I donned the helmet. In regards to the hit itself, how it would be viewed today, I don't think there would be that many replays of it. I think there'd be probably more talk about the health of the athletes involved.
In today's football, my lick would probably be viewed as, a clean hit, but nevertheless, it would probably be used as an example to just protect offensive players. And I totally understand that rule because safety is important.
For Daydrion Taylor, his prognosis in Ann Arbor was equally grim.
I just remember a team of doctors coming in and closing the curtains. They told me, well, is there anybody you can call? Because we're going to schedule surgery for you on Monday, which we're going to go in and take bone out of your hip, and we're going to put it in your neck and fuse your neck together. And so we're also going to put you in this halo, which is 4 screws in your skull, to make sure your neck is stable. And so, at that point, I was pretty much in tears. Like any college player would have been that's hearing that their career is over with.
I sent him an email asking how he was doing. 'Cause I almost felt, in terms of the injuries itself, he got the worst of it in regards to, he had to be placed in a halo. For me, it was just the concussion.
I read the letter, but at the time, I was still kind of disappointed that the whole situation kind of happened, and I didn't get a chance to kind of write it back. It's just unfortunate that play kind of affected two lives like that. If I could have had my way, we both would have walked off the field and continued to play the game of football that we loved. And so, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for either one of us. And so we both had to kind of find different avenues in life.
Got pad level forward, ready, strike, set, go. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Set, go. Come on, come on, come on. Stay low, stay low, stay low.
Stephenson found his way back home to Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, and a familiar sport.
I'm the head coach of our 6th and 7th grade Little League football team.
Come on, that's not your best. Get here.
And I just want to give back to the kids. I want to teach them the proper technique. I want to teach them, how to block, how to tackle, and hopefully, they won't sustain any injuries throughout their careers.
Set, go. Hey, head up, Jackson, head up. Set, go. No, not this part. Here, face mask, face mask.
The biggest thing we teach about hitting is keeping your head up. We try to make sure that nobody ever uses the crown of their helmet, that they're always hitting with the shoulder and then with the face, the front part, so that no spinal cord injuries occur.
Everybody gonna start off high motion. Everybody got me on that?
Yes, sir.
But when the smoke settles, we gotta be still here pounding that butt. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's go to work. I got family on 3 and we going to that sideline. Here we go, 1, 2, 3.
I'm a varsity assistant, and I also coach the 2 freshman teams here at Garland Naaman Forest High School. Listen to him, hey, if the ref is not calling it, it's not a hold. So you gotta find a way to get him off for you. You got me? Big dog, hey, can you get him off for you? That's what I need you to do, all right?
Like Stephenson, Taylor has returned to his roots, coaching in his home state of Texas.
Once you play the game at a high level like we both did, you want to come out and share the values that you learned with as many people that will listen. For me, football was a way out, and you have many kids out there that could use the game of football in order to get them the values that they need to be successful in life and just keeping them from harmful situations.
Daydrion Taylor and Bob Stephenson are giving back to the game that was once taken from them and not living in the moment that forever links them.
That hit, it's how people recognize me, but that look does not define me as a person. I'm Daydrion Taylor, the father. I'm Daydrion Taylor, the coach.
I had peace with the hitting. That's the game of football. I think that's why most people get into football. You're allowed to go full speed and knock somebody down, help them up, and knock them down on the next play again. That's what football's about.
1, 2, 3. Good job. Let's go.
Bob Stephenson mentioned in our story that at the time he had reached out to Daydrion Taylor and gotten no response. Now, 15 years later, Taylor says he would be open to corresponding and meeting with Stephenson.